then I think because now we are at an age where our we have friends with kids,
unfortunately.
But like
Woof.
my sister, for example, my sister grew up playing video games about as much as I did.
Yeah.
She loved the N64. She loves Diddy Kong Racing in particular. That was one of her favorites. Some of the games that we have here are hers from from our childhood. And my nephew loves Mario. I don't think he's ever actually played like what you would call a video game. Like he's played game apps he's got like a kid's version of a tablet that does that. Oh, the music stopped and I thought it froze.
Yeah, is he playing Fortnite?
No, he's not. But he loves Mario.
Yeah. He
has a Mario themed bedroom.
Yeah.
And he's 4, and he's growing up now in an era where video games are just it's just a common hobby now.
Yeah, no, it's not even a hobby. It's just a common entertainment form.
Yeah,
you know,
it's music,
not the same
movies,
thing
video games.
Right.
Like it's all.
And I don't think there are very many people who we know who would say film is not an art form.
There are people who would say that, but not people that I hang out with.
Right. Whoever says that, I mean, fuck you.
Unless
it's
you're
the same
arguments every time where it's like, oh, Freddy got fingered as a film. Is that art? And it's like, yeah.
Yeah, well, when I was 3, I drew a shitty picture of my mom. It wasn't good. It was still art.
But it's art. A creative piece of output is art. Just kind of by
somebody
design.
somewhere enjoyed the experience of Freddy got fingered.
Yeah.
And fuck you. Just because you didn't doesn't mean it's not art.
Yeah. Right. Don't shit on it.
You're not going to put it in a fucking museum.
Right.
Maybe there will be. But
there are museums of bad art.
But 1% of all art gets to museums, and the rest is just art.
Yeah.
It's
for certain people, but it's not for you, and that's okay.
By the same token, looking at video games and saying like, oh, well, Bubsy 3D is a video game. Would you call that art? Yeah. It's not good art. It's pretty fucking shitty, but it's still art.
Yeah.
And then you have games like Braid.
Shit like that really infuriates me because I just want to look at them and be like, what the fuck did you ever make? Shut your fucking mouth.
Again, I think
make
that's
a game and then get back to me, you piece of shit.
I think that's something that people do because they're not secure with their own accomplishments, so they got to shit on someone else's thing.
The only sort of decent argument I've ever heard for film or video games.
As not art?
As not art. Okay. Even though, well, it is still, but their argument is it's not technically art because it's the amalgam of multiple art forms happening in concert
but so is theater.
At once. Exactly.
Theater. So when I was in college, our theater professor, our theater person, advisor, whatever, she started off every new class. So every year at the start of the year when she had the first class with people, she had this almost like word for word, beat for beat, same thing that she told people, which is that as far as she's concerned, theater is the ultimate art form because it essentially it is a combination of every other form of performance art. You can involve music, you can involve dance, you can involve written word, you can involve light choreography, and all of the and like you know you can take that with obviously there are forms of art that don't jive with that. Obviously, animation. Installation art, I mean, you can use animation hypothetically as like
if you like project it or something. Sure,
but like the point that she was making essentially is that theater is a combination of many different art forms and is thus itself an art form by design because of that. And like same reason as with film and with video games, they too are different combinations of existing art forms. This is artwork, like this is drawn sprite art, this is music.
Yeah, of
this
course.
Is
programming too. I mean, like that, you can argue that. I go both ways on that. Yeah. But yeah, so I just think like it's just really short-sighted to think that things that you don't like aren't art.
Yeah.
And also, again, you fucking try to make something and then talk to me.
Right. I mean, even the Eye of Aragon, for all of its foibles, is still art.
Yeah.
It's really
badly
put together.
Entertainment out of that.
Yeah.
Like,
defining art is a tough thing, right?
Sure. I think anyone trying to define art is full of shit.
Right, probably, yeah.
Generally speaking, if you can look at something and go, is that art? The answer is probably just yes.
Yeah,
even what I consider the found, I hate found art for the most part. I find it like really.
Where the fuck is the trick?
Yeah,
it is.
It feels like to me. It feels like an excuse. It's like, oh, this is art, and it's like it's a toilet. You put a bird bath thing in the center of it, but it's a toilet. It's like yes. Like,
so
I don't like it, but it's art.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I think that those types of things are more about like this made me feel something like this has a meaning to me because of who I am and my experiences,
you can interpret
and I'll
things
share
from
this feeling that I had by if you take a picture, you frame it a certain way, or just display it in a certain way. Like that's still
just about any photograph you could possibly take.
A lot of the surrealist and postmodern takes on this stuff. Many of these things
like
are
Dadaism
are meant to be challenges that are basically the opposite of whatever the definition of art is.
Yeah, it's
but it still ends up being art.
By design, and it's like counter.
I've
to the
seen
norms.
some incredible found art stuff. There's this place out in the desert near Joshua Tree that's fucking incredible. And it's just a bunch of junk, but it's junk arranged in these huge immersive things you can walk in and out of and experience. And it's weird and it's cool.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, I get it. That's art. I saw it and experienced it and had a reaction. And for me, that's all that is.
Essentially, art is such a wide, almost undefinable thing. I can't even call it like a genre because it has genres. It's not a genre itself, but it's a thing. Essentially, like, at the end of the day, if someone tries to say, oh, well, that's not art, it's like, well, what makes you the fucking authority on what is or is not art?
Right. And again, I'm pretty sure the only people who are saying that's not art are either super hoity-toity, hyper-focused artists or people who've never made a goddamn thing in their goddamn lives.
The only way that I can see
artists
someone
who want to feel better about their art,
something.
Part of it too is like I can the only time that I can accept a art versus not art thing is when there has to be a line to an extent of like the water bottle you have in front of you. That is art in its own sense. It's a product.
It's designed.
It's mass marketed. It's designed and mass produced.
There's like a nice logo on it.
But
and,
there's the shape of it is
to
artistic
make it bright orange and
So
I get that. Like the person who fucking designed this shape in CAD was probably super fucking pumped about it. Yeah, it's a great bottle.
But that's what I mean though. Is like there does come to a point where it's like you can observe literally anything as art if you start.
But I think that's okay because it's the same thing. What's the meaning of life? And no one can tell you exactly, right? Yeah. No one can give you a satisfying answer. But a lot of people will look at other people and say they're not living their life right.
Right.
And you know what? They're probably fucking wrong. No. People should live it however they want. Art can be whatever people want to make.
I'm of the opinion, and this is take it with a grain of salt, take it or leave it kind of thing, but I'm of the opinion that there is no meaning of life beyond giving life meaning.
Exactly.
The meaning of life is to give your life meaning. You don't live for anybody else. You live.
The meaning of life is up to
give
you.
yourself meaning.
I think that's what people who think about it for more than 5 seconds usually arrive at.
I cannot believe what a couple grinding episodes will do to us.
We
actually have good
conversation about the meaning of life.
Yeah.
Holy shit, man!
The definition or lack thereof of art,
and parenting, and art.
Holy fuck!
We got. This is some intense.
This is why we were meant to be a podcast.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, because we need this though. We need the distraction.
Yeah,
too.
the background thing, and it's something that's actually happening. It's not like if you watch old. Oh God, I was gonna say iDubbbz, not iDubbbz. Leafy is here. It would usually just be like a rant to the background of like, oh, I'm doing this like mini game of a thing, but it wasn't like it's not for a thing. It's just there to be background.
I definitely have that. I don't know if it's correlated with ADD or if it's just for everybody, but like I think better when I'm doing something else. If I just sit there and say I have to solve this problem, it's harder for me sometimes.
That's actually my brain starts going to be like, you're not focusing hard enough.
Yeah,
right.
And then it makes it harder to focus.
That's the reason when I'm doing editing, when I'm doing like visual stuff, I'll usually throw a YouTube video on the side because if there's not something else that kind of just keeps me spinning, yes, it's a little distracting.
Yeah.
But at least keeps my brain like doing stuff.
Yeah.
If I'm just staring at a logo and not doing things, I can just be like, oh, I'm gonna look. I'm just distracted by just other shit.
And that's the problem with my brain is sometimes I feel like certain things are helpful as distractions and other times those same things are holding me down and it seems inconsistent, which is why I struggle with attention and figuring things out and getting things done.
Yep.
But it's overall, like I cannot have a phone conversation without walking.
Right.
Like
that's
I
a
really
lot
can't.
of people. A lot of people are like that.
I get uncomfortable. I feel trapped. But
a lot of times
when I walk, it's much better, much easier.
Sometimes
I will. If I'm like in my room, I'll pace.
Yeah, I do sit sometimes if I'm on the phone, but I'll be like swiveling the chair back and forth.
Yeah. If it's a conversation that I'm nervous about, I will stand and pace around. If it's something like if I'm calling, our internet provider, for example, the other day, when I was on the phone with them, I didn't.
You don't
stand
get
up and
nervous
pace
calling
around.
our ISP.
No, because I'm just like,
oh my God, that stresses me out more than anything else.
All right, the first call I made, I was a little more like, hey, is this a thing that we can even do? And they said yes. And then I called back a couple hours later because they were like, oh, this should activate right away. And it didn't. And now I'm like, well, we're on a fucking time crunch here.
Yeah.
And now I'm calling some like, hey, Last guy I talked to said this was going to happen like when I hung up the phone, and it's been 3 hours, and they're like, "Oh, we can't actually do that. We got to do this other thing." It's like, well, okay, fine, but that's not something that I'm like nervous about in the same way as taking a call for a job interview.
To go back though, like, I heard about. I don't know how true this is, but it seems true.
Yeah.
I heard the story about a girl who like was taking like, I don't know, let's say the SATs or something.
Sure.
And she was just the whole time just jamming a pen in her leg because that little tiny bit of like
it like snaps your brain and
pain
gets some
or not
synapses.
even pain, but just like feeling pressure, rhythm, whatever it is. Just like it's something that like is in the forefront of your brain, so the background processes can work for you, not against you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like it just keeps the background stuff working on that instead of like distractions or
something.
Part of it
whatever.
too is like
or stressors or anxieties or you know.
As humans, we are creatures of habit, and we have strong connections to our memories in a way where
just cramping up.
Where we are. Is it really? Yeah. You switch sides. You do the left hand side. Oh my God, you're almost there. You only need like 10 more of these battles.
I know. We're almost there.
But like
all this hard work will pay off.
They say that like, all right, if you're allowed to listen to music while you take a test, or if you're allowed to, have a sheet of paper or something with that, then like, well, I mean, like. If you study if you're studying for tests and like you're allowed to listen to headphones, which nowadays would never fly because smartphones, you can just sit there and go, all right, here's how carbohydrates are formed.
Dude, if you were allowed to do that with a Walkman in the 80s, you could have done the same thing.
Right. But the idea being like, if you listen to the same kind of music or the same songs while studying a thing over and over again, all you have to do then is like, all right, now I'm taking my orgo test, and now let's see what we're talking about, like photolipids, or I don't know literally the first thing about this. So I'm just
Orgo is organic chemistry for those of you who don't know, and photolipids are, as far as I can tell, not a real thing. For those of you listening to Rick,
those are light-based fats.
Yeah. Yes.
There you go. Yeah. That's a thing.
Yeah.
I was trying to say like protolipids or
any photo of me is a photolipid.
But anyway, if you're like, all right, let's see, what was I? All right, so
I'm sorry
you started humming yourself.
Me too. We're all in the same boat.
We're all photolipids today.
If you remember the songs that were in your playlist, it's like, all right, we didn't start the fire. It's like, all right, so that's what I was doing when I was studying this. When I was studying,
I see what you're saying.
You make those connections. Those neurons fire similarly from hearing the song.
Smell is the strongest sense we have associated with our memories.
Yeah.
So
It's true.
That's why. If someone makes a home cooked meal that is very similar to one that you had growing up, it's gonna like really bring back a lot of those emotions and memories and things.
And it catches you off guard sometimes too. Just like, oh, I didn't think of that person. Like somebody mentioned a kid I went to like 3rd grade with, who like moved away and none of us ever saw again, right? Yep. But like somebody mentioned him the other day, and I was just like, "Holy shit!" And just like half my childhood flooded back to me, because it accessed that quadrant of my memory that just like hasn't been used for a while.
There's certain like bands or songs or music that will immediately bring me back to very specific moments.
Chodery.
Yeah, I mean, there was actually there was a girl that I dated for a while. So,
she's dead now.
Who knows? I haven't spoken to her in like 7 years.
Yeah, you can't speak to a corpse, Rick.
I know. So if you've never heard of this guy, DJ Earworm,
I've never heard of a guy named DJ Earworm.
He's
except
awesome.
for maybe you've probably talked about it before, and I did not pay attention.
So
by the way,
what got him popular was he at the end of every year he would do a mashup called the United State of Pop, and it would be the Billboard Top 25 hits of the year. And he would mash them up into one, like 3 to 4 minute thing, and they were very good. Me and Sarah listened to them on the way back from Connecticut like a month ago, and we just listened to them all chained together, and it was like half the ride back was that, and we enjoyed it for the most part. The one that I loved the most was I think the one from 2009 called I think it's called We Got the Pop.
We Got the Pop.
I think that was the one, yeah. And
I didn't have a follow up to that. I thought I had a song, but
it's a really good
pop. Yeah, it's a good song.
It's a really good mashup. I think it's the best one that he ever did. And I showed this to a girl that I was dating in like 2000, I don't know, 11ish,
and she
maybe
broke
2010.
up with you on the spot.
Well, she hated it. She hated it not because the mashup was bad, but because it reminded her of 2009, and that was a bad year for her, and so all it did was remind her of her ex and going through personal shit that was happening when she listened to those songs. And I was like, okay, I'll switch this away. Like, I can turn this off. She's like, no, I want to hear the rest of it. It's like, are you sure? Because
she's weeping again.
We were like 15 seconds in, and you're already like, oh god. And I was like, I can stop this. Like, I have the power to make the pain end here.
Was this the one you didn't like at all?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, she sucked.
Yeah, it was. It was a really weird point in my life.
I'm pretty sure I remember telling you, dude, she sucks, even like the night after we hung out.
Oh, sure. Like, it's a hard...
I'm your buddy, I'm helping you out way.
It is a hard pill to swallow, though. But, like, it was one where, like, it was a rebound move.
Of course, yeah.
In a major, major way. And...
We've all been there.
It was something that I regretted, like, instantly upon getting into the situation.
I've made a terrible mistake.
I mean, I've talked about it before. I wasn't very proud of how that relationship ended.
No, I know. I think she called you and you just hit ignore, and then you blocked her number, and she thinks you're dead.
Nope.
That's what I want to believe.
She was supposed to.
What a baller move.
She was supposed to come up for our friend my friend Holly's birthday, which was in early January. And I had been thinking for like 2 months that I wanted to break off the relationship, that I just wasn't enjoying stuff at all, and it was just bad. And so the day of the party, around noon, I called her. She was at work, and I felt I'm the biggest asshole in the world for doing this. I'm not going to defend what I did, but I just was like, I don't think this is working. I don't know
what's so bad about that.
Because I called her at work to break up with her.
Was it?
And included included the caveat of, please don't come to this party tonight.
Oh, was she originally going to go to the party?
She was originally going to come up to where all of us live for the party.
Yeah. That's not the worst way.
No,
it's not pretty bad.
The worst way
I didn't
is
do
a
it by
voicemail.
text, but like...
Yeah.
Text is far better. Text is actually pretty humane. Like, I know it's a faux pas socially, but I would imagine
it's better than a phone
humane.
call at work. Phone call at work is pretty bad.
Well, with a text, you get to... Like, if someone texted me and said, I'm dumping you, you get to read it, digest it.
Yeah, you get
figure
to
out how you want to
response.
react and respond.
Yeah.
Whereas if you catch me off guard at fucking work, I might start screaming or bawling or something.
Yeah, she was obviously upset, justifiably so.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
I felt like a fucking... I spent the entire day up to that point going, there's got to be a better way to do this.
Okay.
But I was like, it needs to happen today.
My carrier pigeon died, so it's my only option.
Well, I mean, I was like, if she comes up, I'm going to be miserable. I might literally break up with her at a party, which... Yeah. Based on previous party experiences with her, would have resulted in really bad shit. So it was just bad.
Yeah, the crazy ones are always crazy. You know, it's sad
how that works.
Sometimes we try to look past it, but they're crazy.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. She my big. Is it bad that?
What?
One of my bigger regrets, I won't say my biggest regret, but one of the things that I regret about the way that it went down, and this is so selfish and stupid, and I know that this sounds bad because it is bad, was
going to end up not even
she
being
borrowed
like
I bought a copy of the Grey album, which was the mashup of Jay-Z's Black album and the Beatles' White album, on vinyl. It was hard to get. It was an original pressing. That shit is expensive, and I got crazy luck. Like, I got it for like $60, and at the time it was going for like $500 or $600.
So,
and she borrowed it, and that was around Christmas, and I never got it back.
That's not that bad to want it back, dude.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like, so you just never got it back.
I never got it back.
Oh, well, that's your fault.
One of the fucking. You should hit her up right now.
Ironically,
hey, give me your phone.
Ironically, yeah, right. Ironically, one of the final straws to me in the relationship was she borrowed it, and when she borrowed it, I was very like clear about like, look, this is a super rare album. They only pressed like 300 of them in total. It's like, this is hard to find. It's super fucking expensive to replace. Please, please, please be careful with this. This means a lot to me. This is one of the most expensive things I own. And I haven't even had a chance to listen to it yet because I wanted to like make some time to sit down and do it. So she borrowed it, and she was like, okay, I'll take good care of it. And I go to her parents' place up in New Hampshire, and like we're just hanging out and stuff, and I look, and there's the album, and there's the casing, and the casing has this nice massive crease in it, and I'm just like,
yeah.
Oh, how could you? What the like I'm trying to contain myself because her dad's in the next room, and I'm like, I can't replace that. Like,
right. Well, that's why you never let anyone borrow anything valuable.
Well, it just kind of hurt me. It just kind of hurt me because I made it really clear to her how much it meant to me.
Yeah, but we've already established she sucks.
If someone doesn't have any respect for your things, then they don't have any respect for you.
I think I mentioned to her too. It was
Thanks,
like,
Dad.
Hey, that's Ben.
Like seriously, like if they're just gonna
it just sounded like a very dad thing to say.
Yeah, well, maybe it is. I guess so. I just like if they're gonna treat like something that's very important to you like that, then how are they gonna treat you similarly?
Yeah.
And I mean, mistakes.
She creased you and bent you.
Mistakes happen, accidents happen, and if you're confronted with that, a good thing to do is one, apologize.
Yeah, say it.
Just be like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry."
And get ahead of it and be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Like I tripped and bent it or whatever."
Yeah,
like
if
at least telling you
kind of
it's out of your control. Like,
just say something.
But yeah, it's just like if you get passive with it, it's like, "Oh, sorry." It's like.
So look at it. Like, so look at it like this though. It's not worth anything now anyway, so it doesn't really fucking matter. You don't need it back.
I mean, it's not worth anything because I don't have it anymore. That original pressing is still probably worth a lot, but
even if it's bent.
I mean, the album is still there, but the case definitely helped. But sleeve, so that's where I'm thinking. Sleeve case.
I feel like it would be pretty tough to bend a vinyl album.
Yeah. Man,
Sleeve,
I have no idea what wound up happening with that because we haven't spoken since then. Again, for good reason.
She probably sold it.
She probably, yeah, probably.
It's probably sitting in a box somewhere.
I'd have sold it.
My guess is that she probably sold it. I have no idea.
Or I would have. I mean, I guess I
in her life
personally would have
since
kept it because that's a fucking cool thing to have.
Yeah, I mean,
am I going the right way? Where the fuck? I got lost.
I think you're going the wrong way, yeah.
Jeepers creepers.
I still feel like even if somebody dumped me after at least a couple months, I'd be like, do you want this stuff back? Like,
oh, yeah, because
I feel like that's what people should do.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, boy. Honestly.
Like, don't steal from them. Like, even if...
It's too late, Ben.
Yeah.
When we break up, I know you're going to keep all my shit.
Oh, man.
Your true colors are here now. Yeah.
I'm just
relationships.
Yeah, you want to go back.
Right?
You're going the wrong way.
Can I go up here?
You want to go up to the left.
I can't go up.
Get out of here. I think.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I'm glad that chapter is behind me.
Yeah.
Sarah seems way cooler.
Yes. Yeah. Kind of by like a million billion times.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Here you go. This is the right way. You want to go up to the right.
Yeah, these are the guys I thought it was.
Yeah. Did you get to 30 on everything?
I think I do now.
Pretty fucking close if you're not there yet.
I should now, yes. I'll double check to make sure.
All right.
We did it. It only took 2 hours, but we got what we wanted.
The worst part is, up until the Son of Sun thing, it's like, wow, we got through like 3 side quests in one.
This isn't even experience grinding, which is the annoying part.
I mean, you're getting experience, just not much.
Yeah.
Yay! There you go, 30s. Okay, let's go buy those ruby mails.
All right.
Oh, God, it's fucking garbage hot right now.
That's probably the end of this episode, right? I don't know how you're splitting this shit up.
This has definitely been a couple episodes at this point. I think we'll come back next time. We'll get the ruby mail. We'll go fight Son of Sun. And then I don't know what we'll do after that. We'll have like a party.
We'll figure it out.
Later.
Bye.